As here we go, we're loading into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Hyper 1, living in the land of Japan. It is HonMonO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. And you specifically begged the players to make every match PvP. That did not happen. that is propaganda spread by Iba. Este Iba, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. For now, though, we are, of course, getting into our TVP. And my brain has to reset for a moment as, oh my god, HonMonO going for a 2x opener back at home. Gasless, by the way. Are we going for a 4x all in? We're going up to 3 racks. This is wild and fully walling off as well. Okay, so I'm sure there are a lot of people watching right now that maybe aren't familiar with HonMonO. You know, HonMonO, he is a very regional player. He plays in a lot of our tournaments in the Oceanic region. He is the best player in Japan. And HonMonO is the cheesiest Terran player in South Korea, or from the land of the Koreas. HonMonO, he's very aggressive, especially against Protoss, and yep, it's a 4x. 1 base all in from HonMonO. We will most likely pull the boys with this. Again, no gases, pure marine, pull the boys, maybe get some bunkers going, and just send it, papi. And ArT is none the wiser. For the time being, he's in the dark. For all he knows, it's a double gas opener into a factory. It could be a CC on the high ground, just out of vision and out of range. It could be an economic opener. So ArT, yeah, he just has no idea what's happening. We could see a sentry opener out of ArT, which I think would be very wise, but okay, he's going to be going for the Adept. The Adept's got the role here. The role of the Adept is to shade across the map as quickly as possible to get a read of what's happening. The Adept may not be able to get into the main, but the Adept will see the Marine count here amassing outside the bases, as it is going to be a Gate Cyber Expand. Standard economic opener here from ArT. Hopefully we don't go for a Stargate. If we throw down Stargate and if we go Phoenix, then we may just die. The mass Marine army would just snowball out of control. We're going for a Robo follow-up though. Very nice here. A very safe opener out of ArT. With a Robo opener, we gain access to Immortals early on, and that's exactly what we're going to be needing. Well, we need gateway units to be fair, but Immortals going to be on the horizon. Here we go, Marines are pushing out, and we have the boys. They're on the way. HonMonO pulling the boys. ArT not aware of what's happening. He does have, there we go, 2 shield batteries in the main base. He does spot the Marines at least. He's going to be kiting them back. Good damage done here on the Marines. Is going to pick off 1 Marine. How many do we have? 13. Only 13 more. As the Stalker's doing a great job kiting here. Trying to get a second Marine. The boys, they have arrived. Shield batteries, they are done though. Finish up just now. We have to pull the boys out as well. The probes are being pulled. Work on, work action. Oh, not quite though. We're going to try to get us around on the Marines. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are holding on. The shield battery just refuses to let them die. And the overcharge may just be too much. SCVs are being cleaned up. The probes, they can go back to work. And the Stalkers, they stand strong. God, that overcharge, it lasted for so long. And it's now just Marine versus Stalker. Finally, 1 Stalker does fall, but it looks like we clean this up. And ArT holds. ArT holds beautifully here. Again, very meticulous, very careful with how he did pull his workers. GG gets called, and ArT takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Didn't even scout what was really coming his way, but he did see the Marines in the center of the map. He saw the Marines moving. He saw the Marines moving out. He was able to respond, able to kite from a pretty early stage. He already had 2 shield batteries on the way, and we saw that those shield batteries and the overcharge as well, they put in so much work keeping those Stalkers alive. And I love that we didn't just A-move with the probes. We kept them back for a little bit. We just waited for the opportune moment before coming in and diving on the Marines. We didn't want to waste them. We didn't want to go in a little bit too soon or prematurely. Again, cool, calm, and collected defense from ArT. Very well done. Very well done. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. And I expect this game to be short as well. Like, I don't expect HonMonO to take a third. Now, just because I say that HonMonO is the cheesiest Terran player in South Korea, that doesn't mean that he one base all-ins every game. We've seen him proxy, we've seen him two base all-in, and two base all-in, and two base all-in again. That's kind of what I expect to see out of HonMonO, and here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. One game away from advancing on to the grand finals, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. He has to fight back here and now. It is HonMonO. So in chat, does it even work? If ArT wasn't active in the center of the map, then it could have worked. Basically, because ArT had sniffed out that something was wrong, what saved ArT there was his scouting and his immediate reaction to throw down shield batteries. Because the shield batteries finished up just in time, because of the overcharge as well, ArT held. If he didn't have those two shield batteries, then most likely HonMonO breaks him. Remember, ArT, by the time he held, he only had two Stalkers left. Like, it was a very tight defense from ArT. He defended with like the bare minimum amount of units. It was like 3 Stalkers and 1 Adept, if I'm not mistaken. So those shield batteries were the MVPs in that defense. So really solid play there, and again, more importantly, really fast reaction from ArT to immediately throw down those shield batteries. Meanwhile, across the map, ooh, it's looking like the same build. No, sorry, big difference. We are on one base, yes, and we're going into a 3 racks, not a 4 racks, because we are taking gases. We're going 3 racks Reaper instead. And this could even lead into, I'm curious if this leads into something like Tech Labs and a stim timing. No, all 3 racks, they're all right across the map. It is just straight up 3 racks Reaper for now. So a very different form of aggression from HonMonO. And we'll see if ArT can figure out what is going on and likewise defend. So far, Gate Cyber Expand, just like last game, a standard economic opener here from ArT. He's still denied entry into the main. Remember, behind this, ArT doesn't really see much. For all he knows, with this, of course, Reaper first, it could just be a Rax Expand into a CC here hidden in the main base. Could be double gas into factory. Could be a 2-on-1. Could be a 4X just like last game. There's a lot on the table. Well, I mean, not quite like last game. We're pulling the just because the Reaper shows that gases were taken, but we're pulling the boys. I was not expecting this. Okay, HonMonO just throwing caution to the wind here. Just Reapers alongside a boy pool. I haven't seen this before. I'll be honest. This is gonna be a first for me. I've seen HonMonO 4X like one base all in before, but this is new. Here we go. We have a couple of adepts to defend. We have a Stargate on the way. The boys have been revealed. Shield battery in production. Only 1 shield battery. Second shield battery still in production. This time ArT didn't see this in the center of the map, and we're going straight for the pylon. Oh my god, we're going straight for the pylon. It looks like we will depower the production. Everything is depowered. There is nothing else that can be made. We have 2 adepts and 1 shield battery here on the low ground, and the shield battery is being focused down. And we cannot save it. That's going to be a kill on the shield battery. The boys are being pulled, but we can't save it. Oh, it does go down. The shield battery goes down, which means the mass amount of Reapers, we only have to kill 2 adepts. That's the win condition. That's all we have to do. There's 2 adepts left. Soon to be 1 adept left, and it looks like HonMonO has done it. Oh, the shield battery finishes just in time, keeps the adept alive. Do we have an overcharge? No, we do. Overcharge 1 second too late. The adept goes down, but we do repower the production. Oracle is on the way, but probes are falling. We have 1 more adept here, but no, it's out of range. The shield battery, no, it doesn't keep it alive. Oh my god. And it looks like HonMonO, has he done it? He should be able to kill every single worker in between these bases. Oracle's going to arrive eventually, but alas, HonMonO is looking to force that ace match. That was so close as well. So important that he was able to depower the production, to dive on top of those adepts. So important as well that the overcharge was 1 second too late. That was greedy from ArT. Remember, ArT, he was trying to intentionally wait until the last moment to pop the overcharge. And by the time he did, the adept did die. The adept fell. It was all over. And with that, everything is depowered. We have 1 Oracle left, but Marines are in production. We still have mining. GG. The 1G. As we're going to game 3. Let's go. Let's go, Poppy. All the way to the ace match. And this could go either way. Let's be real here. You know, HonMonO, again, he's wild, he's crazy, he's unpredictable. And he could just stumble his way into the finals. He could one base all in his way to the grand. It's possible. It's very possible. Ay, ay, ay. Let's go. See the chat catching up. Oh my god. I see the chat. Does he just not care? He cares, Poppy. He knows. He knows the power. The power of the one base all in. The power of Terran. Let's go. Let us go. See chat. HonMonO. WTF. And here we go. Now we're stumbling our way into the ace match. Into game number 3. And the question becomes, will HonMonO expand? Will he take a base? Will he take a natural? Or do we have another one base all in? I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hardlead, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes being forced into the ace match. It is ArT. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the purple Terran, representing Team Hyper 1, tying up the series 1-1. What does he have in store for us here in game 3? It is HonMonO. And again, the way HonMonO plays, it's very high risk, high reward, right? Like as we've seen so far, you know, we saw it succeed and pop off in game 2, right? But in game 1, it kind of fell on its face. So no, at times, HonMonO looks amazing. At other times, you know, you question what's happening. So we'll see what he brings to the table. Once again, going for the full wall off here on one base, denying any scouting information from ArT. He has done this every game so far, just fully walling off and making sure that ArT doesn't know what's happening. We can see it's a Rax into not just one gas. That is a very fast second gas geyser. There is no SCV out on the map, so we're not going for like a proxy factory or like a proxy starport or anything like that. But with the abundance of gas here, we should be going for a factory behind this, especially without another Rax on the way. So it looks like a Rax factory-based opener here. Probe is being as annoying as possible. ArT going for a gate cyber expand once again every single game so far. Standard opener from our Protoss. But where is this going to lead us here from the side of the Terran? There's that factory in production, as we mentioned. Now, this could be just a factory expand. But with 2 gases, though. unlikely. Now that I think about it for a moment. So, yeah, where will this take us? Reactor, maybe mass cyclone. We're still making SCVs. Still are making workers. As HonMonO, he is looking for that probe. He wants to shut it down. Alas, ArT does get the hell out of there, keeping that probe alive. Does take control of the Zelnaga. That factory is finishing up. Okay, no, yeah, it is going to be a factory expand. There you go. So it is an aggressive opener because we did prioritize our factory and we delayed our CC, don't get me wrong, but we are expanding nonetheless. And what I mentioned at the start of the series, remember, is that HonMonO, he's known for his 2 base all-ins. That's why I was surprised to see him play in game 1 and game 2. That's why I was surprised that he didn't expand and that he was just, again, staying on one base. Just because he's taking a natural doesn't mean that it's going to be standard play. Don't let HonMonO fool you, okay? Don't let him fool you. Yeah, don't let him fool you. Can still be hyper aggressive. Behind this, it's going to be a 1-1-1. Heavy in production here for the time being. Back at home, we do have a robo follow-up from ArT. I did mention this in the last, or in game number 2, no, sorry, game number 1 if I recall correctly. I do like the robo-based opener here. It is very safe. It does give you access to really fast immortals, so in case you are all in, you can of course get into a very defensive army quite early on. The downside here is that ArT won't have any harassing options, or many harassing options, so to wind it back, some very early, we're throwing down 2 more Raxes, and the NF gets in! No shot, the NF does get into the main base. SCVs are under fire, and we do delay the production. When SCV does fall, we're going to be looking to get another as well. HonMonO, meanwhile, going across the map. He gets into the mineral line. He doesn't care about his workers. He cares about the probes of ArT, and a lot of probes are going down. We get 7 worker kills. Meanwhile, across the map, only 2, soon to be 3 SCVs. But what I was going to say is that there's a trade-off here with this Robo Opener. The trade-off is you don't have Blink with a Twilight Council-based opener, and you don't have Phoenixes with a Stargate-based opener. So without those 2 units or those 2 compositions, it means that ArT, as he's finally getting cleaned up, it means that ArT doesn't have map control. He can't keep up with drop play. Drop play especially can wreak havoc here and pull ArT apart. But with a Robo Opener, fast Immortals, fast Colossus. We're stuck at home. We have to take a more defensive position here, but we will have a very robust army. Here we go. ArT is going to be pushing. HonMonO behind this, getting to very fast tank production. We got 1 tank on low ground. We're getting into Banshees. Okay. Tank into Banshee. No add-on swap with the tech lab on that starport. Stalkers have arrived, but tank is in position. And again, we don't have Blink. Ooh, 2 volleys go off. Reapers getting across the map here. Trying to get Arena what's happening. HonMonO, he did see the Robo earlier. So a fast Bay and a fast Colossus should be on the mind of HonMonO. As he loses one of his Reapers, does back off. Behind this, still building up that tank count. Again, with those Banshees, we could try to get some economic damage done across the map. What's interesting is that we're investing into the Banshee, yes, but we are not investing into Cloak. Cloak is not being researched. It's not being prioritized. So I'm pretty sure we're looking to push out with maybe 4 tanks. We have 3 already. We're going to be getting up to 4 tanks, a bunch of Marines, and we're going to be going for a massive push. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull the boys with this as well. Bearing in mind as well, no stim. No stim, no combat shields. Vanilla Marines here with HonMonO's army. Stalker does scout the move out. And there are the boys. The boys are being pulled. A 2-base all in from HonMonO. ArT, he's ready with Colossus though. Because of the Robo Opener, we have Immortals and a Colossus already. Like, how do we really break this? We're gonna try. The Marines are melting, the tanks are doing what they can, but the Immortal can just focus down the tanks one after the other. The tanks are falling. We do get a lot of damage done on the Immortal though. Immortal is going to be targeted by the Banshee, but everything else falls. We have 2 tanks and barely anything else. Again, the Colossus, 14 kills on that Colossus. Going for a mule to repair. Reinforcements are on the way. More SCVs are being pulled as well. It's all or nothing here for HonMonO. Bunkers are on the way. He still has those Banshees. Rallying everything he can. One way or another, the game is about to end. Either HonMonO somehow breaks the natural, or ArT shuts this down. And here we go. Tanks are going to be slowly leapfrogging forward. Good tank volleys off on the Colossus. Colossus is going to be going down. Good target firing. But alas, can we get on top of the rest of the army? 1 tank goes down, 2nd tank as well. Oh, bit of a move command. The Colossus does get picked off. Bit of miscontrol from ArT. Bit of miscontrol there. His Colossus count has been reset. And we're getting into disruptors actually. HonMonO, he can still pull this off by the way. He's going to be edging ever closer. He moves out with the Immortal, which means it's exposed. HonMonO, he's getting on top of the production. There are 2 pylons powering this. 1 pylon goes down. We depower the shield batteries at least, but the disruptor has arrived. Meanwhile, ArT trying to catch some reinforcements. But HonMonO, he's gaining ground. He's getting on top of the Robo. Big connection. No reaction. HonMonO, he wasn't looking. The Marines go down. We can see ArT committing to his counterattack. Trying to cripple what little economy there is left. HonMonO, he saw that the Immortals are missing, so he knows that, of course, it's a big counterattack. But HonMonO, he was waiting, and he shuts down this army. And these Banshees, they're going ham. They're putting in a lot of work. They're putting a lot of work. Nova goes up. It takes 2 Novas to kill a tank. Not going to be good enough. And the tanks are getting even closer, and ArT is in a lot of trouble. He's losing ground. ArT, he's getting forced further and further back into his main base. Stalker's doing what they can. We have the overcharge, but the overcharge goes down. We get 1 Banshee. But this base is going to fall. 100% it's going to fall. And a wave of reinforcements are on the way. The boys are being pulled, but alas, this last-ditch effort, I don't think it's going to work. We get 1 tank. We get 2. We're closing the distance, and it looks like GG gets called. ArT does not have enough, and HonMonO takes the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Initially ArT had a good defense. Initially he did a great job at focusing down some of the tanks with the Immortal, at swiping away at the Marines and SCVs with the Colossi as well. He had 2 Colossi at the time. But did fumble the ball a little bit there, and HonMonO, amidst all the chaos, he takes the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. HonMonO, against all odds, advances on to the grand finals. And we will not have a PvP. We will have a Terran versus Protoss. And I don't know if I can even say it's a Terran versus Protoss. It is a HonMonO versus Protoss. I can see Cristiano in the chat. Cristiano, he's in the chat. He has been watching. And he's up next. Oh boy. GG.